Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And the future of Star Wars is the High Republic.
I knew you were going to do that.
The High Republic.
That's so annoying. Anyway.
If only people cared about the High Republic.
I think most of the discussion they get about it is from people like us who are pointing out how well it's not doing.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the High Republic getting this big PR push in the Washington Post with photo ops and all this. And they're talking about the future of Star Wars. And of course, the article is exactly what you thought it would be. It's about moving Star Wars past Luke Skywalker, moving it into the future, probably past Gina Carano, and moving it into a more diverse and inclusive future.
Yes. And it was ironic because I just covered earlier about the voting, the people like downvoting and upvoting and all that going on with the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And, and then something this gets posted. And I'm not saying it's because of me. It's not like they're working on it. Wow. But we know the whole Gina Carano thing's been going on. They're trying to bury that with their, we bring you the word, the good news of the Lucasfilm Story Group.
The word from on high. So we're going to talk about the High Republic, which I think is going to wind up going down as being a high-profile failure. I think this is all about deflection. Obviously, we're talking about the brouhaha over Gina Carano. There has been a lot of backlash from Star Wars fans. Never mind that, guys. Never mind that. The future of Star Wars has arrived. It takes place in the past. Don't think about Gina Carano. Don't think about Luke Skywalker. Don't think about The Last Jedi. Well, unless Rian Johnson shows up and tells you to.
Yeah.
Think about our new, all different, all new, all inclusive, all diversive, everything that everybody, Star Wars, for everybody.
That are in books and comics that no one's going to read.
They're in books and comics that are going to wind up always, and also talks a lot about Jedi sex for some reason. Think about those.
Right, because here's the thing. This is all books and novels for the most part. And frankly, they're just not going to get read. People don't care unless they can watch it. I mean, that's just the way it is.
That's the truth. I mean, unless it's manga.
Yeah, well, they're trying that too. So let's see how that goes.
They tried that too. But God, talk about spray and pray. That was a term for those of you who aren't familiar in sales and marketing. I come from a marketing background, right? Spray and pray was you basically just try a little bit of everything and you hope and pray something sticks.
Right.
They're literally taking a whole bunch of these new Jedi characters, literally like every kind of combination of diverse person as a Jedi, putting them in every conceivable kind of book, children's books, comic books.
They are. Every
manga.
Demographic level they can do. They're trying to literally cover all of it.
Hoping they'll find a hit. They'll get a Baby Yoda out of this thing. I don't think it's gonna happen.
No.
So we're gonna talk about that and talk about the backlash against all Star Wars now.
Yes.
Presumably because of the Gina Carano situation.
But it'll be all attributed to just toxic people who will be labeled, often mislabeled, misgendered, misidentified, to try to push their narrative.
We're used to it. Star Wars fans, we're used to it. Lucasfilm has been...
But they're not backing down. Pissing
in our faces for years now. They're not backing down. They're basically stepping over the debacle. Kathleen Kennedy's in hiding. She hasn't been saying anything. And they're just going to be like, no, guys, look, it's all new Star Wars. This is what we want.
Well, it's going to be interesting because they're obviously going to do a PR push for this. Now, You watch, guys, because we're getting this up earlier. You watch. All of a sudden, all these other news outlets are going to come out with this. Oh my God! Look, here's a picture of this group of people, and let's all write stories. You're going to see it all over the place. It's just going to be boom, 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 boom.
So when this happens, where you've always got like one major news outlet, and then all these other little outlets kind of feeding off of an interview, and they'll write like 20 articles off of this one article. This is like the chum bucket right here. Mm-hmm. That they're dumping the chum, and here come the sharks. And then they're going to take from it.
And they'll all say, according to an exclusive in the Washington Post.
Yes, according to an exclusive interview that we didn't do.
I love it. The Washington Post, democracy dies in darkness. But which is ironic considering how that would imply, having light and being enlightened would imply you have access to information. But we've seen concerted efforts to make sure that only certain information gets to see the light of day. So I would agree. Democracy does die in darkness.
Star Wars dies in darkness, in a dark cave with a lot of mirrors.
That's right.
Star Wars died.
And when you ask what it means whatever you want it to. But if you take the wrong takeaway away, we're gonna cancel you for wrong thing. So we're not gonna tell you what it means.
It means it's Star Wars. It's got the trademark on it. It's space stuff with laser swords. Buy it, bitches. Our little pay pigs. You buy whatever we give you.
We give it to you. You pay for it. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. Why would we want to waste our time with that? You just give us your money. That's how this works.
Better yet, let's not actually make anything. You just cut us a check.
Right.
And there you go. Here, we'll give you a magnet or something. All right. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe.
Too late.
Disney, the AP hold. Yeah, here's a magnet, guys. Thanks for that. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Over 178,000 subs. Hoping for 179,000 subs. Hoping for 200,000 and 500,000.
Let's go for a million while we're at it.
Let's go for a million. And the sad thing about this, we're gonna bring this up. The sad thing is that the official Star Wars channel, again, we've talked about this. It has 3.54 million subscribers, alleged subscribers, which I can believe.
They just put a new one of these up. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
32 minutes ago.
We get more views than that on our average video. I think this video will probably get more views than most of these High Republic videos are getting. Look at this. Over 3 million subscribers. 36,000 views in 5 days. 39,000 views in a week. 27,000 views in a week. 61,000 2 weeks ago. And the thing is people are popping in. They're popping in to downvote. They're popping in to leave nasty comments for Lucasfilm because they're pissed.
Well, I think they got mad because when they tried to address the situation, like with Kathleen Kennedy and the Academy Award, the Oscar thing.
Yeah.
They got all their comments and votes silenced. So now they're doubling down on everything else to make sure they make a point.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen is, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. What's going to happen is they're going to say, oh, look, we're being harassed. And then they'll take even more away.
That's how this works. And I mean, this is what's so frustrating because, it's like we said before, it's like we want to tell people like, I'm sorry, guys, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm like, what else do you do?
That's just it. What else do you do? They made it so you can't. But of course, if you don't agree with them, they're going to automatically label you, misgender you, say you're, misrace you, however you say that, racially profile you into something else.
Misrace you?
You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're going to do. They're going to do whatever they have to do to try to say that the narrative is that it's a bunch of alt-right haters who are all Republican even though they're not, who are all probably white even though they're not, who are probably straight even though they're not all straight, who are probably male even though they're not all male. That's what they'll take from it, and they'll say it's because these toxic people. Meanwhile, these people behave in a toxic way all the time. They behave toxically to Star Wars fans, which is what set off this whole damn thing in the first place.
I'm floored these comments, right? Beyond the ratio, and this is a video dropped on the 18th. There's not a single positive comment.
Oh no, because they're doing this. They're going in and they're doing a targeted campaign to try to get a point across because they don't know what else to get the point across.
Like they won't listen. What does it take for Disney to fucking listen? I literally, we have worked in and around this company for decades. They used to listen. I don't even know what to tell people. Yeah. They ask us.
It used to be like if you had an issue at the parks or whatever, you can go and file paperwork. And actually, they would listen to the people the guests. They would listen to them and they'd be like, "Oh, I see a lot of you don't like this, so we're going to change it." They used to listen, and now they just don't listen.
No, they don't listen. What they do is you tell them. The customers tell them. They tell them this is what is wrong with your product, and what do? Say, fuck you, it's your fault.
It's because you're toxic.
It's because you're toxic.
And they do that in this article, the article we were talking about.
They basically do, yeah. They do. So this is all about deflection. I mean, look at how sad. I mean, for all the PR spin, even, the High Republic show with Christina Ariel, for all the drama, they only mustered up 117,000 views, and how many of those views?
They only did one episode, and that was 3 weeks ago.
Was that it? They only did one? Yeah. But how many downvotes did it get? It's about...
not a lot compared to the views.
No, it's not great. But all the dislikes have been removed.
People have been pointing out the comments, and the dislikes keep getting removed.
Yeah, so this is not going well. So now they're going to try, so they're failing at YouTube. And I'm sorry, when you have a channel with 3.54 million subscribers and you can only muster up 30 or 40,000 views,
no one cares.
Nobody cares.
And of those views, how many of those views are people coming in to downvote it?
Right, that's the thing. Like probably a third to a half of those views are counted because people are coming in to downvote and leave nasty comments. So take those views and cut them in half. Disney, people are telling you what they want and what they don't want, and you don't fucking listen. Look, we're going to bring this up again. Google Trends. And then we're going to get into this stupid article because this is a desperate puff piece. This is like old school 1980s PR. Like
yeah,
do a big photo spread with the authors and the big picture circle jerk. Look at these search terms. This is on Google Trends. High Republic is this blue line that you can't even see on the bottom. Like nobody gives a shit.
No.
Gina Carano, just Gina Carano herself, even before she got fired. Whoop. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
The Mandalorian. Look at the Mandalorian compared to the High Republic. Look at just Luke Skywalker by himself. Of course, we had a bump when he made his appearance. He's still above.
He's still trending above.
He's still trending above the High Republic. You know, I mean, I'm sorry. I know you guys look at market research. I have talked to you people face to face. I've had dinner with you. You've asked me questions. What the fuck are you doing?
Even better, look here. Average. You can see Gina Carano. You can see Luke Skywalker, or the Mandalorian. You can see Luke Skywalker. You can't even see the High Republic on here. And you go to certain areas like Utah. It's not even in Idaho. They're not. It's not even.
Nobody cares about the High Republic in Alaska.
They don't care about the High Republic.
You need to go to the Anchorage newspaper, the Juneau newspaper, and make sure that people know about the High Republic and its diversity and inclusiveness.
Oh, but listen, related queries, it's rising. Probably people will look like us looking to see what people they're actually looking for it so they can do stories reporting that people don't care. Yeah,
the negative, the less than one. I can't, guys. Look, I don't know how else to send a signal to you. Like, you can dismiss, I guess, people leaving nasty comments.
You can argue, oh, it's just people that are just trying to cause us issues.
Look at the fucking numbers. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the High Republic.
I know.
You have failed. I'm sorry. Is that too loud? Was that too much?
No.
See, too much?
Where's the neon button?
I don't have a button.
Where's the neon button? Turn that down.
I am the master. I don't have a button.
Excuse me?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I'm
sorry, I forgot my place. This is how it works here. We're kind of like the Sith. We just try to kill each other every day, and whoever comes out on top gets a new apprentice.
You call that killing each other. I call it something else. Anyway,
Force choke.
I thought you were. I thought you did that because you liked me. I know you were trying to kill me every day.
Let me show you my saber, the business end of my saber. Anyway, I just cannot wrap my head around this. Look, people have showed you, they showed you with the interest in Luke Skywalker. They showed you with all the Mandalorian merch selling. They showed you with the sequel trilogy that they weren't interested because the box office dropped off movie after movie. The merchandise sales dropped off. Hasbro's not even making sequel era figures because they don't sell.
Luke Skywalker shows up in the final episode of The Mandalorian and the internet goes crazy and everything Mandalorian, Luke, sales, everything goes through the roof. And they're still like, but you know what? The High
Republic. And this is all, I guarantee you, this is to take the lens off of the Gina Carano situation because people...
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. You had one success in Disney Star Wars, okay? Currently. I mean, Rogue One was pretty good, right? I think Cassian Andor might be good. You had one bright spot, and it was The Mandalorian, and you fucked it up.
I don't think it's so much about the Gina Carano situation as it is they're trying to take the spotlight off of The Mandalorian.
How many Disney employees, Lucasfilm employees, does it take to screw in a light bulb? You know, George Lucas came up with most of the story himself. There's like 150 of you people
and you still can't
shitting out a whole bunch of books that nobody wants to read.
But there were books that people did read.
And you flushed them down the toilet.
But
then you brought characters back just so you could ruin them again.
And beyond that, beyond the whole thing that you're trying to push this initiative, you have these people associated with this initiative and the story group out on social media disparaging the fans all the time. You have Pablo Hidalgo mocking a fan for crying over Luke Skywalker's return. And he was one of many. I'm like, I just can't wrap my head around it. It's like, if you know there's a problem, if let's say Star Wars is a person, is a body, and it's a person, and you have a suspicious looking mole that keeps getting bigger and eating all the skin around it, you don't leave it go and be like, oh, it's got to be my arm my other arm that needs cut off. It doesn't make sense.
Well, you don't leave it go until you gotta get your arm cut off. You go to Dr. Pimple Popper.
I love her.
And she'll cut that thing off.
I'm taking a moment. I just love her because she's just a sweetheart. And I mean, it could be for camera, but I don't think it is. And it's like,
she's a raging bitch behind the scenes.
I don't think she is. I really don't. I really don't think so at all. And it's like when I hear like the Gina Carano interview and the way she talked, and when I see like Dr. Sandra Lee and the way she treats people, it just makes you want to be a better person. And then we need more of that. We need more of people that want to make you be better, and less of people just screaming and trying to cause division as often as possible. I have a completely different response to that than I do, even though sometimes it's gross, just like the kindness that you see out of like Dr. Pimple Popper. It just makes you feel a connection and makes you feel positive and want to make changes.
So you feel more warm, fuzzy feelings from a woman who pops zits on TV than you...
Zits. They're usually cis or lipomas, but yes.
Okay, because you've been watching a lot, so you know the difference now. But you feel warmer feelings for the cysts than you do for Lucasfilm.
Yes. And I was such a big fan that I read all the books, wrote letters, and got a character named after me.
That is true.
So I'm like, but
And then they dropped the wall on you because you're a bad guy. You're a devil.
I was a bad guy.
You're a devil lady.
At the time, I thought, well, why would they make me the bad guy? And now I'm like, oh wait, it was just like a future prediction apparently.
And now the story group, they're watching this video and they're thinking to themselves, yes, a villain, a Sith Lord.
Oh, it doesn't matter. You could be the most, kind person ever, but you dare say, well, I didn't really like the way that Luke Skywalker was treated. Oh my God, you're literally the devil.
So let's talk about that because
about time. We've already been how many minutes into this?
I just look. This to me again, marketing guide, marketing background, PR background. Literally, have eaten freaking many meals with Disney PR people. I know what this is.
Yeah, it's clear.
This is damage control. This is like, holy shit. Let's get some smiling faces out there because the High Republic's not doing so hot. The future of Star Wars has arrived and it takes place hundreds of years in the past. They talk about how, Star Wars has meant a lot to a lot of people, but now we're going to move forward with all new characters. Creators working within the confines of an existing and lucrative franchise seldom have much creative freedom. But for both writers and readers, this is a rare opportunity to imagine the Star Wars universe as a blank slate.
I just don't see how you could do that.
It's not Star Wars if it's a blank slate. Right. It is a fan fiction or just something based very loosely on Star Wars, which is what it all feels like. They talk about the Marvel series. They talk about the High Republic. It's like choreography because there's like a freaking 150 people working on this shit. The High Republic is a welcoming entry point for newcomers to Star Wars.
No, it's not, because you're exclusionary just in the fact that you have to be able to read these books or get access to these books or anything like that.
If I were a parent, I am a parent, but if I were like,
I was going to say, you better be. But
if I were like going like, hey, I'm going to get my kids a Star Wars book, and I've got a choice between, here's a book that's got like Darth Vader and Chewbacca on the cover, or here's a book that's got, who are these people? I don't know. This looks complicated, and especially when you're telling them and you open it up and there's like, there's like 40 different books coming out. I'd be like, yeah, that's too much work and too much money.
Yeah, it is overwhelming.
It's
definitely overwhelming.
So readers won't have need to see any of the movies because we're throwing it all out.
Readers won't need to see any of the movies to understand the plots, but they're not. But then you're limiting it only to those who are going to go out and buy and read your books, which aren't many.
Okay, so this is where we're going. This whole there is a low-key dog whistle, as the journalists like to say. A dog whistle in here for people who are against gatekeepers of existing franchises. The new series essentially levels the playing field because even the most obsessive fans won't know where these stories will go. It levels the playing field. So you won't be quizzed on Darth Vader and Chewbacca because these are all new characters, and so you're equal with the other.
Well, I never agreed with quizzing people anyway, but you know.
They're talking about the children's book. Do not get the children's book mixed up with the book where they talk about Jedi sex.
That's right.
That's another book. And then they talk about how, hey, we're keeping Yoda anyway.
Right, they have to have something anchoring the whole thing.
Yeah, we see Yoda.
But they've already ruined him, made it all his fault.
So this whole thing was put together through Slack, right? There had to be a cohesive vision of what this world's going to look like.
And that was the story. I thought that was the big whiteboard with diversity and dinosaurs.
And that entailed get-togethers primarily through Slack messages and email.
Once the pandemic began.
Yeah.
They're deliberately excluding the part where this was the group that was at the Skywalker Ranch with a giant whiteboard. Oh, yeah, they talk about that. Best summer camp I ever had.
They want to talk about, formulating the great disaster. That happened last week. That was last week.
Oh, no, I think they've done that. It's been going on.
There's been George sold Star Wars.
Take your pick of what the great disaster was.
So they talk about a couple of field trips. They took field trips to Skywalker Ranch. Field trips. They're talking about the Skywalker Ranch library, and they just kind of go fluff. They
keep trying to use buzzwords. Oh, look, yeah. George Lucas. Like they're making it try to sound like we were at his ranch, like he condones us. Not mention that he doesn't own it anymore.
Yeah, yeah. We went to his house. We drove by his house. And because I drove by his house, I completely understand his thought process, except I Am Current Year in his head is stuck in the 70s. Problematic. Mm-hmm. So here we go. This is where we're really going with the article.
About time.
The franchise has stumbled at times in its quest to become more inclusive. The casting of John Boyega and Kelly Marie Tran in the sequel trilogy seemed like progress until their characters were pushed to the side.
Yeah, but Boyega that was...
put it. As we put it.
Wait, whoa. They're pushed aside. They both characters were handled poorly. The fans have been yelling about this and saying that. They even said, I don't like Rose Tico, but they've said, it was a disservice to Clay Marie Tran because you could have made that character so much better than what she got. And the fans have been saying this. And the John Boyega getting robbed, the fans have been saying this for years. And every time, a couple years ago or more, when the fans would mention it, it was because they were toxic, alt-right, whatever, fans harassing the fandom. And now they're saying the exact same thing. But now, because they say it.
Right.
It's for good.
But the High Republic books, much like The Mandalorian, are putting... Yeah, we got to tie it to...
Buzzword! It's not like The Mandalorian.
It's nothing like The Mandalorian. We have to tie it to some success. Much like The Mandalorian, they're putting creative control in the hands of a diverse set of people.
It should be like, unlike The Mandalorian, we're trying to... Well, no, even for The Mandalorian, they're trying to control who can and can't be part of this. You're gatekeeping the fandom again. You're gatekeeping the shows. You're doing everything that you're yelling about. Mandalorian tried to at least make it feel like Star Wars.
You guys are literally the Empire. You just don't see it. What the hell? Here we go. This is the point of the article. The diversity question is really a question about telling the truth. And the truth is the world is much more diverse than the one we've been shown on the movie screen and on the bookshelf for a long time.
Have you read the books? The books outside of this?
They got rid of those.
These. Have you watched the movies? Old. The world, they've always been diverse. I mean, there's aliens and all kinds of stuff. It's always been diverse. It's never been, it's never been otherwise. And, but they keep forgetting that. If you read the books, they're diverse. If you read all stuff, there's diversity in there. There always has been.
Books are hard. That's why they had to just nuke the entire expanded universe.
So they can write a new one?
Yes. One that they like. Their own fanfic.
So we're going to... Books are hard. We have to nuke it. But that's okay. We're just going to do another one based on books.
But now with more Jedi sex. As long as they don't get attached to each other. They just have saber fights. The truth is that there are lots of different kinds of people in the world.
True.
And the way we know how Star Wars works, there will be lots of different Jedi too.
There already were.
Did they not watch the prequels where they had the Jedi Council?
Because there weren't a lot of Jedi in the original trilogy because the point was there wasn't any Jedi left. I mean, just a couple people.
Even in the
that was the point.
Even in the prequels, we had 1,000? There weren't a whole lot of them.
And they were all different.
They were all over the place.
No. And your Rebels and Clone Wars. No. Diversity has only been invented by these people.
Technically, there were quite a few brown people in the galaxy, if you count all the clone troopers.
There you go. Diversity question is really a question about telling the truth. Unfortunately, they haven't figured out how to do that yet.
Lucasfilm has not figured out how to tell the truth. Clearly they haven't. The new works will introduce High Republic characters in whom readers from various backgrounds will be able to see themselves.
Because here we come again. Nobody can relate to anything unless it's based on themselves. And I'm like, I thought the whole point of reading things and watching shows was to you try to see people that weren't like yourself because you're trying to escape your life and the problems and situations you're in. Why the hell would I want to go see somebody exactly like me and something else if I'm trying to, have to get the exposure to something different? That doesn't even make sense.
So here's another...
Oh, this is Justine Ireland, the one who makes the racist comment.
Yes, Justine. Okay, so here's another. I love these quotes. These are the uplifting quotes that are really a backhand slap to people we don't like because we know those people might read this article.
This is one that told people if you don't like her politics, you won't like her books.
Justine Ireland, yes.
Yes, instead of trying to win audiences over, she deliberately cut her
pushes
audience down
them away
as far as to the quickest she could.
I think it's normal, especially for fans of color, to want to see themselves. Okay,
I agree with that.
Starts out good, but it's also just normal to have a very diverse cast of people. Okay,
that's true. The world's diverse.
I think the more we realize that's just how it should be because that's how the world is.
Most people do.
The less we'll find that is something to be pearl clutching about.
I know. I love that. Also, I think it's funny because it was Disney and Lucasfilm Story Group and all that who screwed over Finn, who allowed, the Rose Tico character to be a piece of shit, who brought these people in and sold them out, cut them short, and further perpetuated their white woman as the savior of the universe instead of when most people would have rather seen Finn. But yes, it's just pearl clutching. I would argue that she might want to rethink how she's saying that because that's kind of pretty much what she's doing.
This is the Jedi Knights of the Round Table. You should see yourself. Well, actually, I think it's more the Jedi Knights of the Gaming Table. This is like Critical Role Jedi Edition. This is the Jedi Knights of the Round Table. You should see yourself reflected in it. Why does everybody have to see themselves?
But if you look, you can find yourself reflected, and because there are characters that
Smurfs.
I mean, right? There are characters that aren't like you at all that you can find yourself reflected in. That's when you find brilliant writing. That's when you find good storytelling. Neither of which apparently is going to be a problem here because unless it looks exactly like you. And is everything like they think these people are based on their own experiences and themselves. So basically, they're making characters of themselves, saying that's what everybody wants. Because it's based on their experiences.
Pretty much. I have always, and that's fan
by mostly the white men that are in the picture.
Yeah, that's fan fiction, right? When you alter the story to suit yourself.
Just do good stories that happen to be diverse and, have good characters. And that's all you need to do. If you write good characters and that are relatable, people are going to see themselves in the characters. I can see myself in Luke Skywalker, even though I'm a woman, There's different things about characters that I could see, relate to myself that aren't like me.
I have always seen myself in Brainy Smurf because I, like him, wear glasses. I never shut up, and a lot of people would like to run me out of town.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying.
There you go. There's always characters that aren't like you that you can relate to. Actually, that's a better character. If there's a character who is very unlike you physically, because they keep focusing on the physical. You can find characters that aren't like you physically, but maybe there's an emotional arc that you relate to, or maybe there's an aspect of their story that's very similar to you. It's beyond good stories. Good characters go beyond physical adjectives, and all they're doing is defining everybody by their adjectives, and that's not only shallow. It's shitty ass storytelling, and then they're going to tell everybody else how they sit on these thrones. You sit on a throne of lies.
Yeah, and that's what
clutching your pearls.
Clutching your pearls.
On your throne of lies.
This is not this. I don't.
And you can clearly see how much all these characters relate with everyone by all the massive amount of hits they're getting on these about these things.
We're gonna get more hits on this video than the official Star Wars channel is gonna get on these videos.
You can clearly see how much they relate to everybody with this massive sales of the books that were, questionable on the New York Times bestseller list in the first place. They said we're number one when they weren't, and then fell off really fast. You can see how much everybody sees themselves in these characters with the flat line. Meanwhile, they see themselves a hell of a lot in The Mandalorian and in Luke Skywalker. And, and people are looking up Gina Carano, even if you try to cover it. But look, these are look at all the white men.
That's true. That's true. Very astute observation. Where are all the other 150?
I see a lot of light-skinned people for a book's all about,
diversity,
people of color and everything else,
Well now. All right, are we gonna wrap this one up?
Yep.
I think we're gonna wrap this one up. It ran longer than I thought it was going to.
I was on it. You knew it was gonna happen.
This is definitely desperation. That for them to put together a thing like this is desperation, and the timing is very curious.
And damn well, I'm just waiting to see, like, tomorrow or even later today, how many articles suddenly pop up. The Washington Post says, or they put out a press release with all this picture, and all of a sudden press release with all these quotes to other news outlets.
Disney Parks blog will cover it. It's going to be all over the damn place. For sure, but it's not gonna help them get any more YouTube views. So we're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.